You're supposed to count back.
You're right, I do normally count back. Welcome to NetMercur. My name is Moxwell. With me is Polytooth. And we are going
What's
to be
up?
playing some Cache Refresh. How are you, Polytooth?
I'm good. I'm finished cooking.
Nice. What did
Yeah.
you cook?
Mm. Some fried rice and some tempura cauliflower, all from bags. So good.
The tempura cauliflower comes out of a bag all battered and stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
That's pretty wonderful.
Yeah, no, totally saves a ton of time. Yep.
So, Cache Refresh is this new format in Netrunner where the card pool is restricted. It's officially supported by Fantasy Flight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you're restricted to one copy of the core, a
Yep.
big box for your faction.
And you can change it for corp and for runner, so you don't have to be stuck with the same one for both corp and runner.
Right. So you get to kind of do this twice, this limited card pool twice. So it's one core, the big box, the terminal directive, and then the most previous two cycles. Which,
The current cycle and then the second most current cycle.
right, which in this case is Red Sands and
Flashpoint.
yeah, I wanted to call it Titan Transnational.
They're basically the same thing. Whatever. It's all their fault.
I'm really excited to see what effects this limited card pool has on the games.
Oh, agreed.
I've played a couple of games of draft, both Fantasy Flight's draft and various cube drafts, and you get very different decks out of that.
Yeah.
I think there's a false way of thinking about them, which is just to think of them as like less efficient netrunner decks.
Yeah. And I don't, like you were saying earlier, the game is complex in and of itself. And just making less efficient or less complicated decks, I don't think it's not a good appeal. That's why I don't think the draft has really taken off because of that.
Yeah, I would tend to agree.
Yeah. I think this gives people what they like out of Netrunner. A lot of people like some form of complexity within their decks. I know I do, and that's usually why my decks suck.
Ha!
uh, but it's still a strong appeal for a lot of people to have something that's I don't know good. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
one of the things that it's going to do is it's going to really showcase the cards in the cycle. I mean, that sounds obvious, but
Yeah.
you know, in the lunar cycle, those dogs showed up,
Yeah.
and they really didn't see tons and tons of play. Lady obviously saw a lot of play. Rex saw some play,
Yeah.
but if that cycle had been in, a cache refresh format, those those types of power counter breakers would have
Oh,
been
there was
more
some.
prevalent, and we would have, had an opportunity to really see how they work because your card pool is limited.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, but Cujo is actually a good card. I actually like it. Um,
What do you like
it
about Cujo?
that's pumpable.
Yeah, I mean that's a
Pumpable
huge.
strength. It's a huge bonus.
Go ahead.
No. I was the lady was asking me if dinner was ready. Sorry.
No worries, no worries.
uh, no, the fact is that Anarch is stuck, and especially at that point, they were very stuck with fixed breakers,
Hmm.
non-pumpables, and there they go. They have like the one that they actually need to not lose most of their programs, but nobody really played it.
And I think part of that is because of how powerful the parasite recursion was at the time. You still
Yeah,
had full access to clone chips, so you could just, plop the parasite out over and over again in near instant speed.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it saves a lot A lot of hassle for people. Oh, I miss clone chip.
Right?
Yeah.
One of the new mechanics in this cache refresh format is bidding on who's going to go first. There's a complicated process there. The players decide randomly which player is going to start a bidding, and we've determined that that will be you in this case.
Right. And the bidding also has not just what side you're choosing, but also what it's going to limit your resources that you're starting with. So everybody starts normally with 5 cards, 5 credits.
And that's 10 resources.
Yeah, it's 10 resources. So you're going to be bidding from 0 to 10. 0 is a number that you can bid with. So I could theoretically bid 0, in which case then you could bid 1 if you really wanted to play your corp or your runner. So I'm curious though. It's like neither of us at the moment know if I'm going to build, if I'm going to start with corp or runner.
Right.
So that's where it really comes in, because you build 2 decks, but you're like, man, my runner I know is good, but my corp is just not necessarily the best thing in the world. But can your runner actually still do, like, can it get off the ground with 3 less starting cards and possibly 2 less credits?
Yeah. That's a strange thing that hasn't happened in Netrunner before.
Yeah, ever. And with a limited card pool, like, is this bidding going to be detrimental, or is it just not going to matter?
Right.
I mean, is everybody just going to be like, whatever, I bid 0, you bid 1, okay, great, you pick, because I feel confident in both of my corp and runner?
Right. I feel that I have strong matchups in both of these places. I think that's what it's. I think the bidding is so that you can at least attempt to avoid your really bad matchups.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. I was looking on the cache refresh format.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't state whether you show your IDs to the other player.
Mm.
You just state if you're going to run or corp.
Yeah.
It says the player must choose which side they are bidding on, corp or runner. Place the first bid, then players take turns bidding increasingly more starting resources. So I'm not entirely sure if we're supposed to be putting out your IDs.
How do you want to handle it?
Oh, I think for us, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking more of theoretically, like, how's that going to shake out?
Yeah, not knowing exactly how that resolves does.
Because it puts a kink in it.
It definitely does.
Severe kink. It actually makes bidding. I don't know. It can actually make it a little more intriguing.
If you don't know, you think?
Yeah, if you don't know your opponent's IDs.
Yeah, it does. It makes it a lot scarier.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I like that, actually.
Sure. Why don't you get the bidding started?
Okay. I am going to bid 2. Oh, I'm sorry. I want a corp. And so I'm going to
bid 2.
Yeah.
And so I can say, well, I'll pay 3 to corp instead.
Mm-hmm.
I could say that.
Yeah, that's basically what you're saying. You think your corp is going to be stronger than my corp.
I think that how is my corp going to do at -3 resources?
Yeah, seriously? That's 2 cards and a credit.
Do I have to split them as evenly as possible?
Yes, you have to split them as evenly as possible. You start with the card first and then credits. And
I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to let you have it at 2.
All right. And I sounded really confident in my thing there, but I want to make sure that I was actually correct. The winning player must start the game with less cards and credits. Yeah, so, cards and credits. So I'm going to end up starting with one less credit and one less card. And what I think we should do, since we're on Genteki, is you give me a number of 1 through 5, and from my
I think there's a randomly.
oh, is there?
I think so. Let's see.
But does it trash it or does it?
Discard random. So it's slash discard dash random, and then presumably the number. Discard a random. Oh no, it's just slash discard dash random.
Okay. Slash discard random.
Yeah.
All right, let's try that. Oh, it might actually help if I put a number in there. Sorry. Random 1. And I still did it wrong. What is
No, I think that the command's just not triggering.
discard number takes
Why don't you put all the cards in HQ into R&D, shuffle, and then just draw 4?
Oh, I think it's just discard 1. Discard 1. Oh my god. I'm terrible. Discard. One more try. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Okay. So, do I want to keep this hand? Do I want to keep this hand? I think actually I'm going to mulligan. Oops, shit. Hang on a sec. And then we'll do a discard. And I'll shuffle this thing too. Shuffle. Discard. Sorry, folks. There we go. I'm going to shuffle that one more time. And I start with one less credit. Boom. Okay. There we go. We're off. Here, have some money.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I need to turn that volume down. Hang on a second.
No worries.
Boop. There we go. That should be better now. I totally did. I just told it to turn the sound off. Why is it being this way? Can you hear that sound?
I can, yeah.
Okay. I'm hoping that this fixed it. Nope, totally didn't fix it. What the hell? Oh, I know. I got another plan. There we go.
I think I'm going to start by drawing.
Damn, what the hell? Volume.
I'm going to draw again. Then I'll install and take a credit.
Okay. Let's see. Well, you volume. It shouldn't be as loud now, right?
I can still hear it. There's under settings, there's just sound, and you can click enable sound and turn that off.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Huh.
And it is totally just on. And I even turned the volume
All
completely.
the way down?
Yeah.
That is brutal.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So I am going to take credit. What I am going to do is that dinner's almost done here, so I'm going to end up putting my headphones on, so that should actually cancel that.
Gotcha. Let's see if this forge gets anything done.
You want to forge? You want to res this bad jammer? Here you go. Take that.
That's a pretty rough card.
I really do like the a lot of the new ice from Terminal Directive.
Yeah, I played Bloodletter in my Terminal Directive deck, but it wasn't as effective as I had thought it was going to be.
No. Get that money. Do 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 do. Come. Drawing a card, making around, data selectors out. Oh, I am so sorry.
No
There
worries.
you go.
IKEA. Or
IKEA. Make great. Yeah, I think it's IKEA actually. IKEA is the furniture.
Right?
Yeah. Let's see here. So, basically making data sec runs. I'm gonna start my turn. I got a card. Wrap on this over. Yeah, thank you. So, those small ones are best. There you go.
So you're throwing down a lot of remotes.
I got all sorts of remotes now.
Yeah, you do.
I got the remote city here.
I've got a really simple turn. I'm just going to do that.
Seems good. Seems real good.
Yeah, I'm a little worried that you might be able to kill me, but I'm not positive.
Anything's possible, right? Let's see.
I think biotic show of force would. Well, I guess you can't.
Yeah.
If you had an EMP, I'd be dead right now.
Correct. Alas, not the case. I need to remember all these new ones here. So, I think I'm going to gain a credit, and I'm going to discard. There you go.
Got another simple turn. Draw 3 times and run on archives.
I feel like that's okay. I mean, I am not gonna rush out and win.
Right. I don't think so.
Not anytime soon. So I think that's a fine play.
So already into this cache refresh game, it's pretty standard.
Yeah, and that's actually why I picked
PE.
Yeah, that's why I picked PE too, because yeah, it's kind of a standard. It feels like it's got its kind of what it's gonna do.
Right.
For the most part, and so I want to see if that I got some different things in here. So I could have knifed you.
Could have. You probably should have.
Maybe.
I like to use House of Knives as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. I should have nailed you, but I did not. I also have a fairly simple turn.
That is so expensive to break.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I'm going to choose...
Oh, yeah, Steve.
that legwork and the mimic.
Take the legwork.
Okay.
Obviously, I can click on it. There you go. Oh, wait. Oh, balls.
Backwards?
Backwards. That's okay.
Sure?
Yeah, no, it's totally fine.
You have a Hunter Seeker. That's really disturbing.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
See, now, okay, so you took Desperado, even though there's only one in the core.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that was... I'm cheating.
Oh, no!
I'm cheating.
Oh, no, there's an asterisk.
That is my B.
Oh, that's okay.
Although, I think that the right thing to do is probably run one Desperado and then two, and then, whatever else.
Whatever comes up.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah,
else you're running.
What's that?
I think that the right console choice to make, if you can only run one Desperado, is to run one Desperado and then whatever else you're gonna run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that's totally fair. Um, uh, Oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to take all three of those as credits.
Sure.
There you go.
All right, I'm gonna hit you with a count siphon.
You would.
What am I gonna try to get back?
Hmm. Improves the game. See, it helps if you read. There you go, reading. Seems like I need to get something on.
Well, I mean, trying to ice archives is probably not gonna work out just
Not
because
too well.
there's so many other remotes.
Yeah. No, it's true. I'm gonna gain a credit. I'm gonna res Estelle. I'm gonna
good gravy.
remote. And we'll remote again.
Estelle is nutso.
Yeah, and she's gonna be so good in this. This was Estelle was supposed to be my account siphon uh, save,
Gotcha.
but I didn't get to her soon enough. So happens.
She still made you money at this point, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna make 2 credits off of it. If
Question
I
is, do I have to run it? Yeah, I have to run it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start by. I'm gonna start with Maker's Eye though.
Fair. That's a good point. Now, do I break her now? Because yeah, I think I do. I think I need to.
Why?
Well, you're going to access 3 cards.
Mm-hmm.
If I have anything that I need to pay for snare,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
I
yeah.
should do it now. So
That makes sense. The other
well,
thing to think about is like how important is it to you to make me run her just to right? Like that's
for
but
sure.
I think that getting the money for snare is probably the best thing to do.
So now yeah, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to end up drawing 2 cards. Cool. And no more actions.
You're not gonna knife me?
Oh yeah, I got to. I got to knife you. Thank you.
If I hit snare, I die. Oh, okay. I get. All right, so it worked out for you.
It worked out one way or the other. Yeah.
I'm gonna bid that amount of money. Oh,
And there you
nice.
go.
I'm gonna
Oh, um,
draw, and I'm gonna
my side
run.
game is already starting better than previously.
Your what's starting better?
My side games from our previous.
Oh gosh, yeah, yeah.
That was a terrible day. All right. So first things first, we'll both take a little bit of cash. We'll take a look at what we got going here. Okay. See, I think replanting has still got a place in this setup, especially with the Stell.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts with
You
Estelle.
know? Yeah.
Yeah.
So something to think about in previous times. Dun, dun, dun. What do I want to do? And
Interesting.
isn't it? It's
Yeah,
just
that's pretty curious. You advance what's in server 8 twice, and then just yeah. All right, I'm gonna run HQ.
okay.
And
Uh,
and this is going to really highlight the power of Steve here. Um, I'd like either this Maker's Eye or that account
or
siphon.
that account siphon. I'm
Yeah.
like, So as far as PE is concerned, and what I would usually say is that you can always have multi-access. And yes,
Oh,
I will
oh, snap.
pick.
That was pretty great, I gotta admit.
Yeah,
I do like that Steve is remove the card from the game. That's
that's great, right?
yeah, it seems good.
Yeah.
Because if you have other forms of recursion, right? Like if you have the same old thing in your deck, you almost, what are you supposed to do there?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna target archives again. Running R&D. Oof, you got me again. All right, I'm gonna hit up archives. I'm gonna plop down that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it looks like whatever you were advancing in server 8 is it's just a bluff.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Meh, meh, meh.
That's true. Could be a Ronin. Well, I guess it couldn't be.
Yeah, it can't be. Unfortunately.
Gotcha.
Take my. Take it.
This format is it's really not that different, I don't think. At least in this particular game. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like oh, Hunter Seeker. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing. Remember?
Yeah. I saw that. Okay, I'm gonna Temujin R&D.
Seems good.
I'm gonna run archives. I'm gonna run R&D. Oh, dang.
Oh.
What is up, Andy? We are doing some
Cache
cache
refresh.
refresh. Am I gonna go back in? I'm not gonna go back in. I'm instead gonna draw.
Chicken.
How was Metropole Grid? Let's see, R&D. Well, that's not supposed to be on R&D.
Whoops.
I'm just gonna run R&D and then undo the money.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you. Actually, it's too complicated. I'm gonna go ahead and
Just
yeah.
pay for it. Yeah, that's fine.
A little misclick there.
I was to say, I think you double dipped.
I
You don't need
did.
to do that.
What were they playing over there? Polytooth, I'm curious why you went after the data sucker rather than the Desperado or one of the breakers.
Um, lack of foresight.
Gotcha.
Lack of thinking. Yeah, I mean, if I was smart, I would have gone after what, lusting? No, not lusting. Sorry, the Abingdale actually. I guess it didn't really matter. Yeah, yeah, I would say it was just a poor play,
Sure.
honestly, and I think you're absolutely right. Like, probably going after one of your breakers may have been the better choice.
I don't know. I think Steve makes it more complicated though.
He does make it more complicated, but you still give me the choice. You only get one.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Mimics in the heap. Could have got your killer. That would have kept you out of R&D. Possibly. I mean, You're taking
Yeah, I could have
at least
started.
you're only taking two off the top of.
I'm not crazy enough to do that. I'm not crazy enough to burn my deck to Bloodletter.
That's probably fair.
I think Bloodletter is a lot better in the Wayland or the Jinteki kill decks than a lot of other stuff.
Agreed. Ooh. Okay, that's uncalled for.
Yeah, Fisk has problems like that. When I was playing him when he first came out, I said to myself, I'm just going to run the Fisk ability every time, and I don't think that's what you're supposed to do. I think that you're supposed to build a board state where you can just kind of like start going pretty crazy on them, and make them draw a bunch of cards in the middle of the game. Is that what he was doing? Are you gonna let me in?
I am sorry. I was putting my headphones on, so hopefully now we won't have that.
No worries. What do I want? I think I want a Count Siphon or Maker's Eye again.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, sweet, another Hunter Seeker.
Oh, hello. Hey, at this point you're on 5 agenda points, so
Yeah.
probably not going to be going off. I mean, unless you get a Kusanagi.
That's painful. Kaguya. I've been trying to figure out what the best way to deal with Kaguya is. For a
Fair
while, I
fight.
thought it was that Ankusa breaker.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know really how to. Yeah,
Actually,
D-Res and Parasite are probably pretty good.
yeah. I don't know. Ankusa is not a bad idea.
I'm
It's
gonna go
not
ahead and
horribly expensive.
let the end of run fire, and I'll just draw a card.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna D-Res Kaguya with Brute Force,
Mm-hmm.
but it's yeah, there we go. Yep.
Yeah, got it. On it.
And now I think I'm gonna go ahead and run RNG.
Mmm. Go ahead. Come on in.
There we go. Shore Force.
Boom. Ba-da-ba.
So you've got
Mm.
quite a few 2-point agendas in your deck. Is that because of just lack of other 1-pointers in the format?
Uh, yes, no. Um, I wanted to play the 2 pointers. I wanted to be able to use Show Force kind of as,
As that Ronin?
yeah, as that Ronin. Um, you know, a couple of misplays on my part for sure. I think Hunter Seeker could have been used a little more efficiently
It's a
when
hard
I
card
did
to
use it.
use though. The double condition limits it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also the runner has to kind of put themselves in a position where you can use it, and that combined with the extra click cost means that the turn that you use it, you won't necessarily be advancing your game in the way that you otherwise would. It can playing it can actually disrupt your board's or the
Yeah.
growth of your board, which is
Hmm.
probably a good piece of design given that it just clobbers
It
an
can,
individual
yeah.
card.
It can, and I still think PE still suffers from the uh, you really need a good mix in your hand and as you're drawing. I got a lot of doubles. Like I got uh, both of my psychic fields like right away,
Yeah.
and I think with is not this is not a never advance
Mhm.
style. So I need a mix of things that I can advance and not advance
Right. Right.
to really do what I need to do. So
When you
I
motioned the future perfect, I pretty much knew it was the future perfect.
sure, yeah.
What is in server 8, by the way?
Oh, you mean it's another future perfect.
Oh wow. Okay.
There's also a future perfect sitting in the archives.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They're just hanging out, being chill.
Totally.
The Project Kusanagi's though, those are great. See, actually, what I should have done. Oh no, I motioned. That's
Yeah, if you'd been able to motion a project Kusanagi, that probably would have felt a lot better.
oh yeah, for sure.
Let's switch over to the other side. I'll make a new table.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be Corp this time.
Mm-hmm.
I will keep my hand.
I will.
Alright, so Alice, the first
I
time you make a successful one, trash a card from HQ. The Corp must trash a card from HQ.
yeah. So it's not random, so you get to choose.
That's brutal.
That's awesome.
Okay, well that's how I feel about that.
Oh, la ti da. Start that. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Alright, Veritas.
Fair enough. Let it fire.
Boost the trace? Nah, I'm not gonna boost it.
I will pay it.
So you're gonna get a card, and I'm gonna have to pick what card it is because of the way the successful run and then me discarding
Yeah.
works, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's pretty brutal.
Because I continue. It's now successful. You have to discard.
That is way, way better than I had initially thought.
Isn't it?
Yeah, way better.
Yeah, it's something.
Um,
But
trace 4, and then I'll boost it to 1. Boost it by
hmm
1 to trace 5.
Yep. I have a 0 link, so seems
There
good.
you go. Take 4
There you
tags.
go. See, look at that.
Yeah.
See, that feels good though. You
That
know? I mean, for you.
Yeah, it feels
sucks
good for me. Yeah. It definitely buys me a lot of breathing room.
Mm-hmm.
This is so interesting. Your that ID ability, the Alice ID, is way more interesting than I had thought.
Yeah, I like it.
And Kaflam.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Turn three, baby.
Turn three. That's the way. Oh, that was honestly.
We're gonna have to do that one again, obviously. But
Yeah, that was great.
yeah, surprise ending, huh?
Well, I mean, not for me. No. How much of that deck did you change?
I think I changed mostly the ice.
Okay.
Let's do that again.
Yeah, let's do it again. Anyways, I that's what always my bane. I'm too aggressive.
And actually, we did that wrong even then because we're supposed to
Mm,
do the bidding thing, and I'm gonna mulligan this hand anyway.
no problem. I am gonna.
So
So I thought we were gonna do was since we already knew what we were gonna play against Corp and Runner,
yeah.
you were just gonna do 1-1. Yeah.
So Andy, what we had done is decided that we were gonna do the first round of bidding, and then on the second game, just copy the same result. But the previous game, we forgot about that. Ugh.
Hmm.
I think that what's going to end up happening with the bidding is that people will bid to be the runner rather than to be the corp.
Yeah, most likely.
I think it's I think it'll turn into just like a slightly slower start for runners.
Pete. Oh,
Really great card.
oh my God. I know.
I like the terminal restriction on it. I think it might be one of the cards where the terminal restriction, you really feel it.
Yeah.
There were a lot of times in my terminal directive game where I wanted to do something that costed money, and I had an IPO, but then I wouldn't have any clicks left over.
Yeah. Did you just money, and then IPO?
I ended up doing that a lot, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Now I feel like we're in a state of who's gonna have the most money.
Absolutely.
Well, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go poke around. Uh, are you running snare?
So an obvious comparison between constructed netrunner and cache refresh is, the difference between magic and, constructed magic and something like sealed magic.
Yeah,
But I don't think that that is an
I
accurate comparison.
agreed. Yeah.
Because you still get to pick from a very large card pool. These games, I really think that this is going to be is going to be a format that's less about appealing to, that really tight limited card pool, and more about giving new players an opportunity to get into the game.
Yeah, agreed. I think. Yeah, they're. Are they doing cash refresh at any of the regionals, or is it just at nationals?
I'm not sure.
Let's see.
Right, because we're still seeing so many of the same cards.
Yeah.
Andy, I think bringing their A game is going to really look like the decks that we're familiar with in constructed Netrunner. I mean, on the runner side, all four of these cards see a lot of play, and on the corp side, it's a little different, but it's not hugely different. What am I gonna
There's.
do? What am I gonna do? You have so much money.
That's right.
I'm gonna draw.
Okay.
I'm gonna put an ice out. I think I'm gonna put this on R&D, and then I'm going to MCA informant.
Fair enough.
Aaron Marone.
Yeah, seems good, right?
And yeah, and having people that don't make the cut play cash refresh will help extend the life of the experience for sure. Giving
There
people
we go.
different things to do.
Yeah. Mm.
MCA
Mm.
informant is really expensive.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
I know. It's ridiculous.
I'll let you in.
That's very sweet of you.
Andy, what's making Crim so powerful in your experience? Oh, that sucks.
Oh. Long-term investment. There it is.
All right, here we go.
Uh-oh. An unseen card. Oh. Completely unacceptable.
Yeah, Temujin. Yeah. You're right. That makes a lot of sense. Oh,
Booyah!
brutal.
Yeah.
That is extremely painful. I gotta find a way to deal with that. How am I gonna deal with that?
Seems good. Goodness.
Yeah, all those points make a lot of sense. What have you seen as the counters, the main counters to criminal? I'm gonna get back a mystery card, an IPO, and an archived memories.
Seems good.
Are they playing Hunter Seeker and Lockdown out of Scorpios? Honestly, I found Scorpius to be a little meh, personally. it's very finicky card to use. Is my main takeaway from it. I'm gonna take all this money. I'm going to plop down 2 cards.
Seems good. Oh, I do like
Yeah, I
long-term
think that the
investment.
Estella Moon ETF deck is basically the best thing on the corp side right now. Have you seen that stuff, Polytooth?
No, not in action, as it
It's
were.
absurd. Although Ma just brutalizes it.
For sure. This might be a mistake, but
It's a mistake in as much as it's not going to do
yeah,
anything.
yeah, it's gonna end the run.
And you're going to have to jack out manually. This thing isn't implemented
Yeah,
at all.
yeah, no problem. Did you gain your credit?
I
Yeah.
did. There were a couple of cards in Terminal Directive that were just great because they had so many words on them. Hortum is one of them, and so is Maryland.
Because it had so many words. Because the text box is bigger than the art.
I'm gonna advance this 3 times and pass the turn to you.
Ooh.
It is like a book. The stats on Hortum are great, and then you have this crazy, and maybe you'll get to just hose an AI. I think you only advance Hortum when it's unresed, though,
Why do you say that?
because once it's resed, if they're unlikely to be breaking. It's okay. The case where it's resed and they're breaking it with an AI is
Uh-huh.
less common than they have an AI and no decoder, and you haven't resed Hortum yet, and you now have an opportunity to like advance Hortum. So like if the Hortum's on the remote or wherever,
Yeah.
and then
Fair enough. Hit me.
they start running with an AI over your centrals, and you have the breathing room too, you can advance the Hortum to protect the remote. But if it's resed, they know about it,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's less impactful in that case. Because what you really want to do is advance it 3 times and have them hit it.
Yeah.
You don't. It's just less impactful if you advance it 3 times just to make them install their decoder, which is something they were probably going to do anyway.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, let me think here. Okay, so it's going to be advance, score,
Ooh.
install, and another IPO.
Draw.
Yeah, Andy, you might triple advance it as a last case scenario.
Ugh.
And definitely, if you're playing a lot of dedication, it becomes much better. I am going to gain 3 credits with my turn, mostly because I don't want to draw anything that gets wrecked. Ma is such an interesting card.
I really like it, and I think I really like it with Alice here.
This asset is long-term investments.
Boom. Hopefully
Bam.
that was the Scorch.
You may never know.
May it's true. I might never find out.
Okay, I'm gonna draw.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna draw again, and I'm gonna put that on HQ.
Mm.
Well, I don't like it. I don't love it in this situation because it's so. I have to protect it so much. If you think about it as a card that is pay 2 clicks and 2 credits to gain 8 credits, each of those clicks is kind of like gain 3 credits, and that's pretty good. I think it's better in a circumstance where something like Ma isn't gonna just run all over you. It reminds me a lot of Melange too, but just like a weird slow Melange that doesn't take as many clicks. Have you played with it, Polytooth?
Which one?
Long-term investments.
I have no, I haven't. I haven't played with it. Not yet. I do like the looks of it though. Especially if you're using it in something where you're wanting to force someone to run.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ouch.
there we go.
I'm gonna draw. I'm gonna gain 2 credits. Man, Alice is really good.
I liking this.
The 50 card deck size is usually a very big turnoff for me.
Sure. I'm obviously okay with it.
Yeah, I think it's hard for me to kind of wrap my head around why they chose to balance it with the larger deck size as opposed to limiting the influence, because limiting the influence is the more traditional.
For sure, yeah. Take that. There we go. There we go. All right. See, now was
Go ahead.
probably should have run on archives rather than take the 2 credits off of Armitage.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, I had the opportunity, so
Yeah.
should probably have taken some form of advantage while I had it. That's a new card in server 2.
It is a new card, yeah.
Okay. Let's go find out what it is.
Ugh.
I
Blech.
guess I'll take that tag. Let's see what this other one is. Price deck. Nope. You can keep it.
I can keep the price tag, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Guess that
Well,
makes sense.
I'm gonna I'm gonna be down on cash anyway, so
Where do I move from here?
No, I probably should have trashed the price tag. That was bad.
I'm not convinced you should have.
You don't think so? Well, it's not the end of the world, but it still sucks. Going back in there is gonna suck. Assuming I need to go back in there. Boo! Let's see. First things, get rid of that. Informant.
One thing
Bastard.
about this cache refresh format is that because the most powerful versions of an effect aren't necessarily available,
Mm-hmm.
there's a much bigger chance of being taken off guard by something like injection attack, which just happened to me.
Yeah. I mean, I did have Dean Lister sitting out on the table, though.
I'm gonna go ahead and draw again. I'll plop this card on archives.
Ooh. All right. We're gonna money
Seems
up.
real good.
Yeah. That seems totally fair. Goddamn IPO. Oh. Thank goodness. We're gonna draw and take some cash. There you go. Oh, oh, really?
Yeah,
Just gonna be like that.
yeah.
Just plop it
Stall
down there.
advance.
Done.
Another Dean.
Another Dean.
Not having access to
Oh,
GFI.
yeah. Not having access to GFI, which the CTM build
Does, right.
does,
In this
yeah,
format, NBN is always going to have access to,
the GFI.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, good game.
that was a good game. Second game was better.
It was. Whale decks can be like that. They can run out of steam.
They can get kind of swingy. I don't know. So, did you need to put it out there and try and score it?
The data sucker really scared me.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, what's on R&D?
Just an ice wall.
Oh, yeah, that's scary. No, that was because that's where I was gonna go. Plus, I had a medium in hand, and I
Yeah.
was gonna plop it on progenitor.
I think I think my takeaway from cache refresh is that it's really not very different from regular Netrunner.
No, I think it's very much the kind of the same. It's still Netrunner as we know it. Uh, it's got
For the most part, all of the cards that we were playing are pretty typical. You know, you've got some
uh-huh.
atypical stuff in injection attack.
So
Dean makes a lot of sense, just in general in Anarch.
yeah, I mean, I went with no conspiracy breakers, all fixed breakers,
Yeah.
two data suckers, injection attack, and the three deans.
Yeah, seems
And
good.
yeah, it's still super strong. And her ability interplayed with
Yeah,
Ma,
that is.
it can be real good, and it's gonna really, it can really damage asset spam decks,
Yeah,
or
the Maw.
anything with anything with an open remote.
That's. Yeah, Maw is one of the biggest cards to abuse an open remote. It does kind of make you. You have to make a pretty big investment, right? You have to not
For
play any of
sure.
the other good consoles. You have to pay six.
Uh-huh.
You really have to bank on assets being strong.
Yeah, it's still I think it still works in this format with what I'm doing because I am playing with data suckers. I am using lots of programs.
Right. I can see your
So
rig getting a lot bigger from here.
yeah, the 2MU is still it's a good bonus to have. I mean, Grimoire is still the better choice, if you will,
If
to
you
some
just want
degree.
MU, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it
It
can
powers
give
up the
you
viruses.
yeah, it can give you that boost that you need
But I
to
think
maybe get
I think right
started.
now attacking the corpse hand is really strong.
For sure.
There's a lot of corp decks that run around and have they either, it's either CI and you're holding all these cards in your hand, and something like Maw can really, or even Alice can really disrupt the combo.
Yeah. And there's only so much recursion in
Yes.
this format.
Well, and as ruthless as a card like Friends in High Places is, it's only getting back installable stuff, so it's not getting back some of those critical operations.
For sure. I mean, so I looked at all of the IDs that are
Hmm.
playable in Cache Refresh.
Yeah,
Um, I should say all the ideas that we know of, IDs that we know of now, because there
sure.
may still be some other IDs coming out in
In the
looks
last
like
pack of the cycle,
yeah,
or in the upcoming
or
packs, because we're three
yeah,
packs in.
there were 3 packs in, and I don't think we know all of the cards for the last 2 to 3
Hmm.
packs. We do know that Jinteki is getting another one in Aglin Fusion. I think it's how
Yeah,
you
that's
say it.
right. That was one of the first ones that was spoiled.
Yeah, I think that one looks really interesting.
It does.
I
That allows you to like discard cards to move ice around.
uh, not move ice. Once per turn, instead of resing an approach piece of ice, you may trash it. To choose another server, the runner is now running on that server, and
Oh,
it,
yeah, that's
and
right.
it, and encountering the outermost piece of ice, if any. So it doesn't help with open remote because you could just jack out, assuming you're playing a trap deck.
Hmm.
But you could force them onto the Kamainu they don't want to deal with, and either waste a yeah, all
Right, right. You
their
can run
entire
them into
hand,
something that's either going to kill them or come close to killing them.
or just makes them spend a ton of money.
Right, right.
So I think that can be good. I don't just like for what ID were we talking about? Not using. Oh, the you guys were talking about the Fisk ability
Hmm.
and not using it all the time. That's the same thing with this one. This is not something you're just gonna fire off every chance you get. You're gonna wait until it's going to be super impactful and use it, but I can see it
Right.
being good.
A lot of the IDs that have been good in the past fire every turn. NEH, ETF, Kate,
Yeah,
Kit.
CTM.
Right. Yeah. Or yeah, CTM has the potential to fire every turn.
Yeah, or at least every round, whatever.
Or they don't even really give you a choice, right? Like Leela doesn't really give you a choice. It's just now, right now we're gonna do a thing. I mean,
Yes.
you get to pick what thing, but that
Yeah.
can be that choice can be pretty straightforward in certain
Hmm.
circumstances.
Yeah.
But Ag Infusion is, I mean, that's and Scorpios too, right? That
Oh yeah.
those are stumpers. I've played a fair bit of Scorpios, and I haven't really liked how fiddly the ID is in its essence.
How fiddly it is.
Because you have this choice, right? So you're sitting there and you're like, do I do this thing now or do I do it later? And then it can turn into this kind of petty squabbly battle with the runner where like
Yeah.
the runner is like holding off on doing things to avoid triggering your ID, and then like now your ID is never triggering, and like the runner can't just kind of like I'm gonna do this and this on their turn, right? If their turn
Oh
is to
yeah. The
like
I do this. Do you want to do something?
right, it's like yeah,
Yeah.
I trash this. Do you want to trash this thing? Okay, I trash this. Do you want to trash this? Right? It's like sure gamble, and then a
Yeah.
bunch of other events.
Yeah. It's. I still. It's still an idea that you have to be careful with. It's like Argus.
Hmm.
Argus ability is good, but it's not great. But if you're not thoughtful
Hmm.
with what you're doing, you are going to get your ass killed.
Yes.
So, uh, in that aspect, I like it. Uh,
I don't think I'll be playing much more Scorpios, honestly.
yeah,
Yeah.
I, I I have not played Scorpios yet. I actually have not played Jemison yet either. There's so many IDs. I mean,
Oh
uh,
yeah, there's tons.
Wayland has 7 IDs in just the cash refresh format. They have 7 IDs that to play with
Wow.
right now. Yeah,
So
7.
they have the core, and then three from their big box,
Yep. And then,
and
well, they have Builder of Nations. So I don't know if you wanna if you want to play with that one.
they have Builders Nations. They have the one from Terminal Directive, and then they
Scorpios,
have
Jemison.
yeah, Jemison. You're right, 7.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
NBN still has great, making news, Sync, Spark, Soul, CTM.
Yeah.
HB still has. I. What do you think about next?
Next, the ID and cache
Oh,
refresh.
yeah, yeah.
It certainly limits your ability to bid anything because you need to have that big hand. You need to really draw ice.
That's true. That's a very good point. So, yeah. No, that's actually an excellent point. I didn't think about that. Same with CI, or do you think you can get away with it a bit more in CI?
CI.
I feel like if you get on the back foot too much with CI, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, I think so. I think CI is probably going to be really hard because you also lose a lot of combo pieces because of the limited card pool.
Hmm. So I don't know. I don't know how much
Andy,
that's
have you
gonna.
played much Los? I haven't really gotten to. I don't think I don't think cache refresh is bad. It's certainly not bad.
No, I don't. No, I think it's.
And I think that the design of the cycles, future design of the cycles, is really going to be what gives cache refresh the opportunity to shine.
Hmm.
It doesn't seem to make sense in like the first cycle. That cycle was kind of all over the place. But in cycles that have more of a mechanical theme to them, and when you just get a really high concentration of that theme,
Hmm.
that might be diluted in the constructed format. That'll be a lot of fun. Well,
Uh,
did you have any other thoughts?
not at the moment. I mean, it's still super wide open, right? So I don't know where it's gonna go.
Andy in
And
chat brings up how there isn't a lot of really good low cost ice in cache refresh, and I think that's a great point.
uh, I mean, okay, so there is though. Uh,
There's some low cost. I mean, it's not that there's
this
no, but you can't just run all low cost ice and then Fairchild.
no, no, you can't. But uh, so I mean, is three too much?
I would say that like low cost is like 2 and below. I would say like 3 and 4 are kind of like medium cost.
And then also too, we have to bring up the point of: are we talking about strictly in the run ice or just?
Just ice in general. I think just
Yeah,
ice in general.
there's yeah.
VKYYC, thank you for the follow.
I mean, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I agree that there is not a lot of low cost ice.
Yeah. And in the context of Los specifically, there is also enough evergreen derez effects to make it pan out. You now have Maxwell and brute force.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think brute force is real good.
Oh no, I think it's great. Yeah. I think brute force is good. All of those. Yeah.
All
Well,
right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us, and we will catch you all next week.
see ya.